larger than life. It is called Texas high school football. Only one show can bring the greatest sport from the greatest state into focus. Lone Star Gridiron.
All right, everybody, join me in welcoming Coach Carl Abseck from the Lufkin Panthers to the show. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm fantastic.
I love that. I love that. And I tell you, Lufkin's one of those jobs that is a big deal, right? I mean, it is a winner of a program, but you're a winner of a coach. Talk to me about some of your background first, because the two stops you had, pretty impressive.
I started out in Wichita Falls. That was my first job at Wichita Falls High, which sadly doesn't exist anymore after they closed them all down and consolidated and reopened two new buildings. I spent 8 years there and then went to Cedar Park and spent 16 years there total, 10 as the offense coordinator, and then the last 6 as the head coach. And then left there and went to Barbers Hill and spent the last 4 seasons there. Now here I am in East Texas at Lufkin.
I love it. And I'm assuming that part of the reason why you got the gig was the fact that as a head coach, you've never had a losing season. That's a pretty big deal.
I've been blessed, with great kids and great staff and, very supportive communities. So, anytime you have success and sustained success, it's a combination of all those things working together and pushing the same direction. And it's never a one-man show.
Yeah. And what did you know about the Lufkin Panthers before you started looking into the job?
We played them last year, so I saw them up close and personal, and I was very impressed with their kids and their program and how they played the game. We obviously had to come up here, and it was our first district game, and they got after us pretty good. But I was really impressed with just how hard their kids played, and other than that, I actually had a coach on my staff at the time at Barbers Hill that had played here and left here and went and played at A&M, and so he was always talking about Lufkin, and so it was pretty easy to understand just talking to him alone that not only do they care about Lufkin Panther football, but all kids that go to Lufkin care about Lufkin. And it's a unique situation where they truly love their hometown, and a lot of them want to come back and be a part of what we have going here, and which is unique, and it's really it's a cool deal that they love being a Lufkin Panther so much.
Yeah, definitely. And talk about what a cool situation it is to be a one school town like Lufkin, because that's big.
It is. That was part of the attraction to go to Barbers Hill too. It was the same concept. The head football coach was still the AD, and I really do enjoy that part of the job as well. And Lufkin is similar in that, the AD is still the AD position as well as the head football coach. And so you have an opportunity to impact all the different programs that you have at the school. And but being that it's just one middle school, one high school, they're all Panthers, and they're all, dying to wear the purple and gold. It's a smaller community that this is a big deal. Everything that we do, not just football, but all the sports they have great support, and it's the big show in town. So it's a fun deal.
Yeah, we've done the coaches show with Coach Quick for the last 3 years. But we started doing the basketball show this fall too, and I was shocked. The numbers of the basketball show were every bit as good as far as listenership as the football show. Of course, they had a great team.
They have, and I think they've done a really, really good job over a number of years. I mean, he's now the winningest head coach in Lufkin basketball history. Anytime you can win 500 games plus at one location, you're doing a lot of things right. And they were a really, really talented team, a lot of fun to watch. I was fortunate that when I got the job, they were still playing, so I got to see them play three or four times. So they're a really, really impressive group and well coached, and obviously represented the community really well.
Yeah, and it doesn't end there, right? Because you look at the baseball, softball, you look at the other sports, the track and field. I mean, Lufkin has a habit of excellence.
Right. It's an expectation, in the terms of that's what the community wants. That's what they support, and the kids work really, really hard at what they do. And so, you put all those factors together, and success, in my opinion, breeds success. And so, one thing after another, they kind of follow each other and try to one up each other, and it creates a competitive environment where the kids want to go out and represent the school and the community, being successful. And so that it's not necessarily a pressure. It's just one of those things that helps reinforce the work ethic that it's required to obtain success.
Definitely. And talking about the football team, 10-2 last year, they lose to a really good College Station team. But tell me, is the cupboard bare, or what do you have coming back?
No, it's not bare. They lost a really, I say we lost a really, really talented senior class. I mean, you have guys going to LSU and Michigan State, and then I don't know. I think we ended up having, I think 14 or 15 kids signed somewhere. So some really, really talented kids, a really talented group that the coaches did a tremendous job with. But no, there's some really good kids coming back that we're really excited about. The thing I've really enjoyed in my time here so far is just watching the way they attack the workouts every day. They're hungry to learn. We've started installing football on both sides, offensively and defensively. Started installing our base schemes and in preparation for spring ball, and so I've been really pleased with their attentiveness to that, and like I said, their work ethic is unbelievable. I mean, they don't make excuses, hot, cold, whatever. Throw them a challenge, and they're rising to that challenge every day, and so that part's been really exciting. We've had some kids come out, to join the program that hadn't played the previous couple years, and I think some of them are going to really help us. And so between the returning guys that they have and then the guys that have joined the program, it's exciting.
This and it's not a situation like a rebuilding where you've got to come in and break them down and teach them how to play football. I mean, this this group knows football.
No. The coaches here had done a tremendous job, as far as, Lufkin's had success for a long time, and it's a lot of it, obviously started with Coach Outlaw, yep. And then, Coach Quick was with him the whole time and then took over for him after his passing, and continued that success, and those guys did a good job with those kids, working them and teaching them, how to play the game. When we played them last year, I thought if they weren't the most physical team, they were in the top 2, 3 that we played all year, and they got after you, and they played hard. They played together, and that's a reflection of the coaches and the kids, and how they approach the game. And so, we don't have to come in and rebuild, per se. We've just got to have new guys step up into new roles, and I think that we have a lot of potential in that room to be able to do that. So it'll be some new names. It'll be some returning names, and we've got a 1,000-yard rusher coming back. We've got a quarterback back that was supposed to start but was injured and didn't get to play much. But he was talented enough to be the guy that they had chosen, and he's a dual threat guy that can run and throw, and he's 6'2", 6'3". So I mean, we're really excited about him. And like I said, we've got 3 offensive linemen back that played or that started, and a 4th that played a lot. Defensively, we have to replace some really, really talented guys that are leaving, but there's some guys that played behind them. We have a couple in the secondary back, a couple linebackers back, and a couple of D linemen that were in the rotation. And so their roles are going to change, and obviously the expectations that are placed on them is going to change because of their maturity and their growth and taking over new roles. So it's definitely not bare, and like I said, the guys in the room are fun to watch.
Nice. And you mentioned that you're starting to implement the offense and defense. Are we talking about a lot of changes? What will be from the fans' point of view? What will they see that's different?
Well, I think formationally we'll do a lot more um, spread stuff than maybe what they've done. Excuse me, in the past. Uh, at different times. Like I said, I've only seen them play like 3 times, 4 times over the last few years. But we like to throw the ball probably a little bit more than what they have in the past. Um, but being versatile enough to utilize the tools and the talents that we have, we want to be able to run the ball as well. So I mean, it's going to be a mixture of that, but I think we play at a little bit higher or faster pace maybe than what they've done in the past. But the game is the game, and a lot of some of the plays are going to look very similar, but they're going to be packaged differently, have some more RPO in it than maybe what they've done. But I can't sit here and really describe a whole lot in the different of what they had done. I only know what I saw, and I know I saw them running it right at us a lot. So, um, we're going to take the kids that we have, and we're going to put them in positions to be successful, and we're going to try to get the ball out to them in space and let their athleticism take over. But it's a great system that fits a lot of different kids in the sense of we want to spread the wealth, get it out to as many different kids as we can, and incorporate them into the game plan. So between that and playing with pace, I think that's probably the biggest difference. Defensively, we will be a little different up front than what they've been in the past in the terms of what defense we base out of with more 4-down stuff than what they've done. But hopefully, the goal is to play the same quality defense that I saw them play last year, and that's it may be packaged different, but that's the result that we want to see.
Excellent. And what about the district? Looking at that, what stands out there for you?
I think it's a very balanced district. The biggest difference is, there's, I guess, 7 teams in that district, and 4 of them are going to have new head coaches. So, it's going to be unique to see what different people bring to different programs. Maybe 5. I think 5, actually. I think Beaumont, Westbrook, and Port Arthur are the only ones that have the same coaches from last year, head coaches from last year. So you're going to see a lot of change in terms of new coaches bringing new schemes and ideas on how to do things offensively and defensively. Out on 5 out of the 7 teams in the district. So that'll be interesting. But I think talent wise, I think it's going to be very similar to what we saw last year. And it's going to be one of those deals where you're going to have to be ready to play week in and week out, or you can lose, because every team in our district has some talented kids and have great coaches. So it's going to be a really competitive district, and one of those that you probably aren't going to know the winner until week 9 or 10 or 11. So I think it's going to be one of those deals where it's going to be a dogfight every week.
Nice. And of those coaches, which ones are you the most familiar with?
As far as the new guys?
Yeah, well, even the existing guys, as far as a personal connection relationship.
Probably Coach Morgan at Port Arthur is the one I have the most connection with, just was we spent the most time together. Mm-hmm. Coach Morgan does a great job over there, and they have, a really, really talented senior class, and really across the board, they've got talent in every class, but he's done a great job with those kids in Port Arthur. And, I've got to hang out with him probably more than any of the other head coaches in that district. I don't really know. I guess a couple of them are still open, so we don't know who they're going to be yet either. So, and I know Coach Semper from playing him in the past and things of that nature. So, be learning some new people.
Yeah, definitely. And so, talking about the kids themselves, how well have you had time, I guess, to get to know them and to really understand who they are as people, not just numbers on a list?
that takes time, and that's what we've spent, a lot of time up here since I've been here. We get up here early and stay late, and bottom line is the more time you spend with them, the more you get to know them. But the thing I've noticed or been made to feel is that they're very appreciative of the things that you do for them. They're willing to talk and speak up. That's their leadership skills has been really impressive to me, as far as holding each other accountable and things of that nature. But they've been super, super accepting of me and my guys that have already made it up here. In terms of kind of bringing us into the family, if you will. So I think that really speaks volumes about who they are as people that, for me, the blessing is that Coach Quick, was able to go and retire because that's what he wanted to do. This wasn't a bad situation in that sense. He spent 30 years dedication to this program and to this community, and he was tired and ready to enjoy the fruits of his labor, and so. Nothing ended poorly here in that sense. And so when I got here, it was just their new coach, and so they've been super accepting, and made me feel really wanted in a sense of just, excitement to see what things we're going to do differently. It's change can be exciting. It can be scary. And so the way they've made me feel and my staff that have been here or come in with me, has just been tremendous. It's been a lot of fun, and, we're getting to know them, hanging out at track meets and during the programs, I had them, when I shook their hands or fist bumped them, I told them they had to tell me their name, because I wanted to learn their names, and I'm bad with names anyways. So, that little interaction has, continued to go and help us get to know each other, and they can see that personal side of me and me see the same thing on their side. So it's been a lot of fun. I've really, really enjoyed the time I've had here at this point, and really look forward to the future with them.
Excellent. And I'm not going to hold you to this because it's way too early, I know, but who do you think, as far as the kids, may surprise us that we're like, hey, this person is somebody I think is going to be an impact player?
Well, I think, one that a lot of people are going to know, I think Javion Johnson's, going to have a really, really tremendous year. He's a great young man. Like I said, he didn't get to play as much last year because of an injury. And, he's got great leadership skills. He's got great physical skills, but he's bought in on what we're doing, and he's working to learn it. The quarterback position for us is the hardest position on the field as far as having to know everything. And he's really doing a good job of getting started with that. So I'm excited to see him go out and have a tremendous year because I think he's got all the physical abilities to do that. There's a bunch of guys that I'm excited about. Caleb Raz is another kid that shows up every day to go to work, and he played a role last year that was a smaller role with some of those seniors that they had. But I think he's going to be one of those glue guys that really helps our team have success. We have a kid, Devon Wallace, I think is going to help our team. That he wasn't here last year and has come in, and he's another guy that goes to work. He's running track and all those things that we ask him to do. Kenny Waters is a returning running back that had over 1,000 yards, so expectations for him are pretty high. And I think his work ethic and how he plays the game is going to show out. Just those are some of the skill kids. Keyshawn Waters, played a lot at corner last year, and he'll be back. And then Demarie was one of those rotational guys at on the D line that may surprise some people who don't necessarily pay attention to all the little details, because they had three seniors that were really, really good football players that garnered most of the attention, but he was the guy that came in and spelled a bunch of them. Desmond Hood is an outside linebacker who I think is primed to have a really tremendous senior year. great physical specimen, great physical ability, smart kid, a lot of fun, really good personalities. I mean, all those guys have some unique personalities that I think, kind of draw you to them. But there's a lot of guys, and I hate mentioning names
Yeah.
because I can't mention them all. But we've had a couple of guys come out from basketball that I think are going to add some dimension to our team as far as Jakevion Sanders and Casey Burst. And so I think we got some additions there that can add something to our team. But really, just there's a lot of kids that have spent a lot of time in preparation for this opportunity to take on that role. And we got Justice Daniels back as an offensive lineman that started, Ethan Henson, Alex Trejo, John Hicks. Those guys have all been people who have stepped up and really taken some leadership roles over there on the offensive line. Got Chris Horse back, played at safety. Just there's a lot of kids that played a lot of football last year that are going to help lead some of our younger guys. We have a freshman that's very talented that, he's anchor leg on the 4x1 and 4x2 as a freshman at Lufkin is pretty impressive, and physically he doesn't look like a freshman, but, he's got a lot of ability, and I think he'll add some things to our room. Really excited about him. So, I think that's the biggest deal is finding a place for each one of those kids that they can really excel and that's his name's Robert Taylor, but there's a lot of guys that are going to go fight for opportunities and create competition, which I think competition always helps the team have success because they're going to have to work hard every day in practice to maintain the roles that they have because somebody's going to be coming and fighting for it every day. So, Big Ruth is a guy that hopefully can help us out on the defensive line. He's working real hard to do that. And I think he's got some physical tools that will help us on our defensive line and hopefully give him an opportunity to excel. Just a lot of guys that have really impressed me at this point. And I'm sure I'm going to be given a hard time because I didn't say somebody's name at some point, but, Colin Coleman, he's another guy that's always smiling, works hard every day. We'll see his role increase because we had some seniors graduate running back. So there's a bunch of guys I'm excited about and really pleased with what they've done to this point. And we're going to rely on all of them to help make our team better across the board because, whether they're, on offense or defense, there's opportunities across the board in special teams to step up and make plays. And we're going to sell that idea that, you can start in a lot of different ways and make an impact on this team.
Excellent. And finally, Coach, what about the fan base? You've seen them now as it relates to some of the other sports. You've played against them before. What's your feel for the fan base, the Pack?
They love their Panthers,
Yes, they do.
The more you win, the more people show up. And so when you go and watch that basketball game and they're, the gym is packed and they're 33-2. There's a reason. They're fun to watch. They're having success, and people want to go and be a part of that. And so our job is to go out and put a great product on the field. And if we do that, then they're going to show up in droves to cheer on the Panthers. When they went and played that playoff game against College Station, I mean, the Panthers side was full. And so we're working real hard right now to put a good product on the field that people are going to want to come out and watch and be a part of and hopefully take this team as far as we can go.
I love it. Well, Coach Abseck, I want to thank you so much for sitting down with me, and best of luck this year with Lufkin. I think you're going to have a great tenure there.
I appreciate it. I'm excited. Like I said, I'm blessed to be here. And I couldn't have asked for a more welcome feel to us getting here and supporting of what we're doing. The administration and everybody's been so supportive of giving us some things that we needed that will, improve the product that we have as well. So we're excited and just like I said, really, really happy and blessed to be here.
Hey Coach, Lone Star Gridiron has been the leader in Coaches Show podcasts for 20 years, and now you can get your own Coaches Show podcast each week during the season as a fundraiser for your booster club. Yes, booster clubs all over are using these podcasts to help their sports programs. You get to share the stories of your program and your kids to a huge audience and make money. We started with just football, but this year have expanded to make them available for all sports. Call 713-269-4620 to find out the details and get your Coaches Show started.